So that leftover one, I just want it out of there. Okay, so I'm gonna go back one. So I want to keep it even with where this was, because otherwise you're gonna it'll show there. Okay. Okay, so instead of bringing this very next spoke over, you're going to do one beyond that. See, you skip that first one, take the one beyond it, bring it over, hold that nice and tight. Now bring this over, and we're going to start opening up a gap too. So we don't bring it all the way up. We're going to angle, and then that way. So we'll start that right there, and just lay that up. Don't pull it all the way up. Just lay it there, because we want our stitch to be right there. And then pull that down. And now that one that was underneath, it'll come up. And see, that was the number one, and it's underneath in that, and pull that there, and then loose and tight. So there's one cross right there. See the cross stitch? And we're starting to create the open space too. So you have to be careful when you're doing this not to pull too far up. So now we're ready to do a second cross.
So you skip one, right?
So you skip it.
Okay.
You skip the one. So this one is on top.
Yeah.
And we bring it right by up to here, so it's even with that knot we just did.
Uh-huh.
Right there. Gently just bring that up. Bring the one from the left over. And hold it. And the one that's underneath, pull it. And bring it over on top. And gentle.
No problem.
Okay, so there's your second cross. And then see how there's a hole in between?
Yeah. And part of the trick will be trying to be consistent about that.
Yeah, that's right. And it's mostly just your tension, and so there's the two, and you bring the second one.
That's the one you skipped, right? I mean, you skip over, right? Because you've already done the...
What?
You're starting fresh, right?
Yes.
So, yeah.
And at this point, see, this is kind of moot now because we've added things in.
Yeah.
And where it used to be the start spot is no longer the start spot.
Oh, okay. But we'll know anyway because you come around to it and there's a hole there.
Yeah. Yep. And bring that one. And so then you want to maintain that consistency of distance. Okay, that's number 3 already. See how that's looking? There's your cross 1, cross 2, and cross 3. That has that little nub in there that I need to cut out later. Not going to worry about it right now. Okay, let's start a 4th one. Go ahead and get the... Okay.
So before we start...
Are these both spokes?
I think they are.
Okay, they were done in the same stitch here. That's what I'm wondering.
Oh.
We're gonna separate them and make them separate stitches.
So before we start that row, we probably ought to count and make sure we don't have an odd number.
An odd number, yeah. And so the second one you
If
pull
we do,
over.
I'll let you. go help.
And you know, you just have to kind of get the feel of the snugness and
I
everything.
get a feel for it, okay.
Yeah. So up and then over.
Excuse me.
Now, with this under one, make sure you pull it so it does really come. Otherwise, it kind of will droop down and not have a whole
Yeah.
nice hole.
I'll have to learn that.
Yeah. Okay. So you're learning a lot of technique with just a little tiny basket.
Mm-hmm. Vickie and I were talking about that this morning.
Oh, how much that you're learning in one? Yeah. So I'm separating this one. Okay. You ready to try?
Mm-hmm.
Now see, this hole isn't quite as big here because I separated those two. You had used them as one stitch, which is, but you know, always let it go like that. Open it up a little.